This presentation will tackle the following points, both LTE layers 2 and 3 as well as security in LTE, regarding V2Everything technology. We'll start first with layer 2 structure. This layer comes right after the physical one and it consists of 3 sublayers which are MAC, medium access control, that basically provides the radio resource allocation service and the data transfer service to the upper layer. It's also composed of an HARQ entity, which is the hybrid version of ARQ, a multiplexing, demultiplexing, logical channel prioritization, as well as a control entity. Logical channels are a very important part of this video, so we'll take our time in understanding them. Logical channels reside between our LC sublayer and the MAC sublayer. Their function is to tell us what kind of information is transferred. They can be broadly divided into 2 groups, which are control channels for the transfer of control plane information and traffic channels that serve the purpose of transferring user plane information. The logical layer present on the figure, like CCH, PCCH, are all control channels. So back to our sublayers. PC, PD, RLC, radio link control, does the segmentation and reassembly of packets and connects errors. PDCP, which is Packet Data Conversions Protocol, acts as a protector of integrity, security. It also transfers plain data, and it's a header compressor. Next, we'll be looking at the channels V2X technology uses in SideLink. And for record, SideLink is an adaptation of the CoreLink LTE standard that allows direct communication between 2 devices without going through a base station, as seen in the picture. V2X uses STCH, which is a point-to-multipoint channel. It's only used by SideLink communication-capable user equipments and the same kind of V2X user equipments. SBCH is a SideLink channel for broadcasting systems information from a user equipment to another. Layer 3 is broadly RRC, which stands for Radio Resource Control. Its main functions are broadcasting, paging, connection management, radio barrier management, and more. It has 2 states, RRC idle and connected, that we'll see in details in a bit. RRC exists between UE and ENB and exists on the IP level. The configuration of RRC in WCDMA network has a considerable impact on the battery life of the phone when a packet data connection is open, and we'll see why. RRC, as we said, depends on connectivity. So these states, like the first one, the RRC connected, is when the UE, the user equipment, has an eUtron RRC connection. The network can transmit and receive data to and from the UE and knows its location at the cell level. The network also manages the mobility with handover, whereas for the RRC idle mode, it's completely the opposite. Because the UE is not connected, there is no radio link. The network knows that UE is present on the network and it is able to reach it in case of incoming call. The UE switches in idle mode when it is connected and there is no traffic to save radio resource and battery. The following figure traces the path of RRC depending on the circumstances. I think it's pretty clear. Moving on, we'll be digging deeper into RLC states. Idle mode has obviously the lowest energy consumption. However, connected mode raises some concerns. Therefore, we're introducing 4 additional states to this mode that each shall provide characteristics and services to save battery life. Diagram on the side shows which of the states are safe in terms of latency for a V2X user. this is the diagram. As we can see, cell DCH to cell FACH is the fastest since it's direct and it fits in the requirements. Here we can see how direct it is. Another important point is configuring eNode B to report geographical location in both in coverage and out of coverage scenarios. When the UE uses autonomous resource selection, the eNode B can provide the mapping between zones and V2X side link transmission, resource pools, and RRC signaling. However, when it's out of coverage, the mapping between the zones and the V2X side link transmissions resource pools can be pre-configured. Next is an important aspect of V2X, if not the most important, that is security. Clearly, there are some requirements that ought to be met in order to provide a better service, like strong authentication. I also thought it would be interesting to compare security requirements in broadcast and unicast, and the defined goals are roughly the same, surprisingly. So here are the design goals we did set for ourselves in V2X communications. It goes from subscriber device privacy to authentication that I deemed the most interesting to present in detail. A new network function is specified known as Security Anchor Function, SEAF, which maintains the security anchor deep in a network. The SEAF also provides flexibility in deploying other network entities such as AMF and SMF. So in short, the message goes through the SEAF here. It requests an authentication, selects a method of authentication, then requests the user equipment to authenticate itself. It goes right to calculating the right response. The user will send afterwards their personal response. Then this guy right here, AUSF, will verify the veracity of this response. Then, if the user is correct, a message of confirmation will be sent back to them. And that's it. Thank you for watching.